right? And that's why Dr. Peterson cares so much about him. He spent his whole his whole life like trying to make people better, trying to work with his clients, trying to teach his students to be the better version of himself. He literally spent his whole career trying to turn someone who's kind of down in the luck, who's not doing well, who's kind of blaming the world around them, and just say, hey, you can do better. What is up, everybody? Today I have a special video for everyone, going off of the last video regarding, physician suicide, talking about mental health awareness. And this has nothing to do with medicine today. This is just something that I saw on the internet regarding someone that I look up to, that I learn a lot from. And it's regarding Dr. Jordan Peterson. If you guys don't know me, I'm Tim. I'm currently a first-year resident for family medicine here in California. And I want to talk about, people have been talking about Dr. Jordan Peterson crying during one of his interview with Jordan Pierce, I think. And they're making fun of him for it. And I want to talk about it. Why? Why are you doing this?
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
It's making you emotional, talk about that.
Well, God, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category.
Just a little bit of background, right? Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, he is a clinical psychologist and also professor. I think he taught at Harvard for a few years and also University of Toronto. And he's written 2 books that has been like a staple in my success. I attributed my clinical 3rd and 4th year success to these 2 books. Is 12 Rules for Life, and his newest one is 12 More Rules for Life, Beyond Order or something. And it's made such a big change in my life. It's made me like a better person. And I've been listening to his podcast. All his interviews has been great. He's a great communicator. He cares, he cares a lot about what he teaches. He uses a lot of facts and datas and a lot of good reasonings for, just living your best life, living and being a good person. And when he says living your best life, it's not about, having the best fun you can have and like doing whatever you can to like pleasure yourself and please yourself. Like what you think of when you say living your best life. Living your best life, when he talks about this stuff, he wants you to be the best version of who you are. Aims to be better, right? And when I see people like kind of make fun of him for this, for his emotional reaction, I just get so infuriated. I just have to make a video. People have been making reaction videos about why he's been crying and talking about it, but I think people are missing the point of why he started crying in the first place.
Hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Like, if you guys notice, Pierce, he brought up the fact about so Jordan Peterson was called an incel king by Olivia Wilde for her new movie that Chris Pine is based off of Dr. Jordan Peterson. And she called him an incel king. And you guys don't know what incels are. It's the term that refers to people who are involuntary celibates. And it's referred to a group, like a small group of people, I think like pronounced on like Reddit or 4chan, like people that you might know too, but they usually aggregates on these online forums. And incels, they tend to have this people think of them as like a bunch of like lonely guys who hates women, who wishes death to all women because they cannot get the satisfaction or the time of day with any woman in their life. And they have this negative connotations. So when Pierce referring to these incels, he like you guys watch the clip, is he literally say
these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways.
or like this group of bad people like incel. It's like kind of derogatory, right? And you can see that that's kind of what made Dr. Peterson tears up and cried and like shares his emotion. It wasn't the fact that like he was like all these clickbait titles saying that Jordan Peterson cried because he's the incel king, because he was Olivia Wilde kind of like call him an incel king, that he's the king of the incels of all these people. That's why he's crying, and that's what the titles try to make it come off as.
Waterworks is coming. Get it together, Jordan.
Bro, you're crying, dude. You are crying. What the?
It's making you emotional.
Dog, he's eating too much liver, dog. That's what he's done, okay? Let me tell you something. That's not a normal way to talk about this sort of thing. There's something severely wrong with his brain chemistry. It's just it. That's it. Like, that's crazy. Too much meat, man.
Let's just see him cry one more time.
By the way, people go, oh, you guys are such fucking hypocrites because you say that men should be more emotional and sensitive, and here he is crying, and then you're making fun of him. Like you, and it's like, bro, I'm not making fun of him for crying.
No.
It's what he's crying about, right? And also the serial crying.
I was going to say, it's more about the frequency.
Yeah.
Because,
Most diehard incels are going to look at a dude who's like crumbling and crying and shit and go, yeah, that's too much for me, dog. I think that's like a little bit too much. You're like crying. That's weird. You know what I mean? Whereas like,
But you watch the clip, he's literally crying. It's triggered by Piers Morgan's statement. He was kind of putting down this group of people, like these disillusioned young men who's like kind of blamed, who's down the luck, he's down bad, and blaming the world and other people around them for their misfortunes, which again is not what you want to do. I'm not defending them. It's not a great state to be in, but you gotta realize the fact that they are in a bad situation, right? And that's why Dr. Peterson cares so much about him. He spent his whole his whole life like trying to make people better, trying to work with his clients, trying to teach his students to be the better version of himself. He literally spent his whole career trying to turn someone who's kind of down the luck, who's not doing well, who's kind of blaming the world around them, and just say, hey, you can do better. You gotta work on yourself. You gotta clean your room, stand up tall, don't lie, aim to be good, really good at one thing. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just try to be the better version of yourself from yesterday. And that's literally his whole life mission. And you have these people putting these group of young men down. And that's why he's like, yeah, call me an incel king, and that's what you want to call me. Because I actually do care about this group of young men. He actually does. You can tell. He feels so bad for them. He wants them to be better. Like, and I just want to put this video out and show you guys that like his love for them is like unconditional. He doesn't know like these group of people, doesn't know about these men, but he just know that there's a problem in society with young men. And I think it just kind of breaks my heart to kind of see him, and also warms my heart too to see how much he cares about these young men, about these people that he never met, and yet he feels responsible for them. He feels like he can help them. He feels like he wants to help them, and he really does. And yet society is always putting them down. I keep like trembling on them. It's like, stop. That's not helping the situation. Right? So this is the reason why Jordan Peterson cried. Because he cares so much for this group of marginalized people. They don't have a voice. So respect Dr. Peterson. I just want to say, I got to where I am right now, like from reading your books, and just trying to work on myself and being better, and with God's help, keep doing what you do. And like, for you guys watching, please, you know, there's no problem with sharing your emotion, especially in public. It happens all the time. I think it's crazy that even in this time and age, people are making fun of men for crying in public, for sharing their emotions. Come on. So respect to Dr. Peterson. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. More videos coming soon. Until next time, it's your boy, Tin.